So, Blizzard World defending. Usually you want to scout here. Because, well, before the nerf, the boop nerf, you can actually boop people off the map, right side, and get like easy ulti charge. But now you pretty much scout here because you want to tell your team what they have, right? And you also want to plan up how you're going to engage depending on what they have. You scout here if they have... Yeah, there's nothing to say since you can't boop anymore. And then people tend to scout here, but I don't think that's a great option in ISR because you get pressure a lot by Tracer. A Ball and Tracer, and Ball and Tracer just contest you here. So you can stay here and try to contest them as well. But at the same time, there's also comps where they run rush and they have a McCree or so and they rush there. And I feel like whenever you engage from here, like when you engage from there, ISR players are very aware that I play ball, right? So they're always scouting for this high ground and I always get fucked. If I try to do this, I get stunned here and then like my healers cannot see me because I'm engaging from there and I get rolled. So I started to scout more here. Because here you can get a easy slam off here. You can also slam this high ground so you're a little bit safer and covered. And you can get back in. Or you can scout from here. Or you can even go behind them from here. Okay, defending on this point, so you know that the choke is there. I feel like when scouting, it's very important to know where the choke is. I feel like that's the biggest tip. Know where the choke is and know where your team is. Because you need to make sure that you're going in. When you're going in, you need to make sure your team is ready. And you need to make sure where the enemy team is, right? And if you want to recontest when they're about to cap, the way you scout is where you come here. I have two choices. Get that high ground, depending on when they are, because sometimes they hold that high ground. But if, for example, if they're holding that high ground, you can go all the way here. And like scout here, right? And you have a good engagement spot. Or, if they're holding the other high ground, like more there, you can come here. And scout here. The pre-pop place. Those are like the scout places here. Then you just slam point or whatever. Hello Chris, what's up? Okay, on third point you have a choke that it's here. This is pretty much the choke, so you can either scout here, which is a little bit risky, but can be high rewarding because you boop them and slam. You can like boop them in and slam. Or you can engage even a little bit early, which is fine. But it really depends where the team is. You gotta understand that. So if they're a little bit more pushed up, you can hold here, but I recommend to always get in here. But attacking while scouting, it's always more hard. Because when you're defending, you kinda have the advantage of setting up. On attacking, you kinda have to make that setup while they're defending, if that makes sense. I like to come high ground here, clean it up if someone is here. In ISR, it's really hard to do this setup. So I advise you, if you have a Zarya, just give her charge at the beginning and then you can set up. But if not, you can scout here, see if someone is contesting you. If not, you keep scouting here, you can come behind, you can boop anyone that is there. You can boop and scoop. Mine. GG's. At this point, you can either scout here. That's one. If they're like holding high ground, you can wall jump here. Give me a second. I'm bugging it out. Yeah, I think, right? Yeah. There you go. Or here. Or here. There you go. Here is better. You can like scout here. Depends what they have. If they're like holding this choke, you can definitely scout here. If they're holding far back, you can either go right side, as I said, or you can go beneath. And that's pretty much this point. If you're like snowballing, you definitely want to get this high ground too. Because usually people come on this here and you can just like free slam or free minefield them. Just pretty good. I wouldn't go there because that's too exposed and it's not high ground. That one. Second point, if you're snowballing, yeah, you can just go through here. Sometimes they have a widow there, so be careful. I think it's pretty much the same. You can scout up here, but definitely get this high ground so you have a free slam. You can also come all the way left side. This is, I feel like this one is the better. You get left side unless you get contested here, and people all that choke and you can just poop and scoop.